Alright, welcome back everybody. It's time for Nohl's epilogue to begin. So let's see what's going on with these goobers. I have returned! Welcome back! What a great way to start. I have returned. Nohl, who serves as Nasla's political assistant and is considered the king's right-hand man, is very busy. Sometimes he is so busy that I have no idea when he sleeps. That is I still wonder about that. His work ends, at best at night, and at worst, well into the night. Which is why... Did something happen?
Oh, I thought you'd be pleased by my occasional early return, but it seems that I have bothered you.
Honestly, you know that's not what I meant. Since he usually comes home so late, it's only natural to wonder why he's home so early in the evening. I sigh lightly at the way he still talks even after becoming a married couple, and accept the souvenir that Nohl had in his hand. Ah, the fruit from yesterday. Yesterday there was a tea party for married noble women. A tea party? The fruit served there was so delicious that I wanted to buy some myself, but decided against it when I heard that it was a luxury item. Even if we're living a comfortable life, being too extravagant isn't good. That's a Roos way of thinking. Even though I know that a certain amount of luxury is necessary as the wife of a political assistant, it's hard to break the habit of holding back that has become ingrained in me. The fruit, which I tried so hard to forget about due to that reason, is now in my hand. You had Esta spying on me again, didn't you? Esta or someone must have been watching behind the scenes and reported to Nohl that I seem to like that fruit very much. There's something so wholesome, though, about having a guard hidden in the shadows that's, like, keeping an eye on things, and as part of his report, he's like, yo, she really liked that fruit. You know, if you wanted, you should probably get her some of that fruit. And he'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna go get some of that fruit. I love that.
You don't care for the souvenir?
That's not what I'm saying. Of course, I'm happy he cares. But I'm afraid that if I'm spoiled all the time, I'll end up ruining myself as a person. Let yourself be ruined at this point. As if reading my inner thoughts, Nohl narrowed his slitted eyes. He tilted his too beautiful face slightly and stroked my pointed lips.
You should be spoiled. With that, you might just become what other people call normal.
How do you always read my thoughts like that? I hate it. It's like I can't hide anything from you. Is what I said, but honestly, I'm happy that we're close enough to be able to read each other's hearts. Yeah, that's true. Nohl's fingertips quickly traced the muscles in my cheeks, which had loosened up.
Despite you taking great pleasure in being found out by me.
My face heated up as he pointed this out. After touching my hot cheek, Nohl's eyes widened as he smiled that soft smile that he only shows to me. Even though I've seen him countless times, seen him here before me, I sincerely feel that he's a really beautiful man. They're gonna be 90 and she's gonna be like, he's still just as beautiful as the day I met him. There's no helping her. I don't feel that way. I feel frustrated, and yet comforted that he's able to see through me so clearly. I have felt once that the pleasure I get from Nohl isn't that far off from the pleasure of masochism. Oh! I halfway through that sentence, I saw masochism and my eyes just got boing, like really big. Like, okay, Naala, thanks for detailing what's happening in the bedroom. I hate to admit it, but I do feel a sense of relief when my inner thoughts are exposed and acknowledged. You know, you could just express yourself a little more openly too if you wanted to.
Don't make such a cute face. It makes me want to expose everything, not just your inner feelings.
No, don't finish that thought. He pulls me in by my waist and kisses me softly on the lips. Even though we were still at the entrance to the room, I felt the vibe in the air had become moist and full of lust, so I hurriedly pushed against his chest. Uh-oh. If I let my guard down, I'll be carried out to the bed as usual. Maybe there's nothing, but I have to ask about what's going on tonight. Making a consciously sharp face, Nohl raised one eyebrow and let go of his hands as if to show his surrender.
There is a minor problem.
Problem? Internally, I tilted my head as if to say, I got you to spill the beans that easily? Maybe it's not so big a problem that he can't talk about it. Nohl doesn't talk to me about serious problems. Maybe he doesn't want me taking any actions or cause any harm to me by knowing. In other words, he's decided that it's okay for me to know about this problem. So maybe I should just keep quiet and listen. If I ask about this or that, he might put his guard up and change the subject. Based on my intuition as a wife, I decided to remain silent. I kept my mouth shut and followed Nohl as he went over to the window, and as I guessed, he began to talk.
Actually, I got into a bit of an argument today.
An argument? With who?
Lord Toya and Surin.
Oh? That's rare, right? With Surin, well, okay, yeah, obviously. But it's rare for Nohl, who puts the king first, to argue with Toya. Letting honest surprise show on my face, Nohl sighed and closed his eyes as if talking about unruly students.
This afternoon.
Ah, yes. Let's flash back to that.
Lord Toya, please give it serious consideration.
Absolutely not! I will not have a marriage meeting, no way!
Who are you, Cyrus? Toya.
You're being petulant.
No means no.
It is natural for a king to marry for the sake of his country. Lord Toya, I thought you were aware of that.
And I've learned that knowing something and being able to do something are two different things. It's a good lesson.
Lord Toya. Having our king, who should lead by example, become the spokesperson for bachelors is quite a grave situation.
Hey, there are plenty of other men my age in Nasla who aren't married.
Your age is quite late for royalty.
I know that.
Then, please quickly choose from one of these profile portraits. Oh, how about this princess from the southern country? She is quite attractive and talented, a well-rounded princess.
Not interested.
Lord Toya.
I will do my best for Nasla as its king. I understand that and dedicate my life to that purpose. However, I want to marry someone I love. You can at least let me have that bit of selfishness.
Regardless of if there were a time where there's a surplus of unmarried women, this is unacceptable now.
You used to never care about women.
People change.
Thanks to your wife.
If you say so, then I am an exemplary example. Marriage is quite nice. So, get married.
I'm an exemplary example.
I could see myself getting married if it were her.
Damn, you still crushing on this girl after like 5 years, however long it's been? Sheesh. No, don't you be getting any ideas. Either. I hope he loves her enough that he's like, not like, well, for the sake of the country, I will divorce my wife, I guess. Okay, good. Thank you, Nohl.
Please reserve the delusional ramblings for when you are asleep.
You recommended her to me first, didn't you?
The situation has changed from then.
That's not fair.
What?
Easy for you to say. You got to marry someone you're in love with.
That's not quite the case. As you know, I originally had no plays to ever marry. As such, I did not marry out of love.
Well, that's what you can say as a winner, since you're happy.
There are no winners or losers in marriage.
What? Are you playing some kind of game? Surin,
Come to think of it, there are some people here who don't care about the future of this country.
Huh? What are you saying all of a sudden?
Honestly, you both. It's quite shameful that despite holding such important positions in Nasla, you're single.
Hey, Toya. This guy off his rocker or something? He's just lecturing us. It's an annoying topic.
I can hear you. Listen, both of you. If you're thinking about the future of Nasla, you should marry a suitable princess and have children as soon as possible.
Shut up. That's up to me. You're getting off easy. He's trying to marry me off with some princesses I've never met.
My marriage was somewhat of an accident.
Yeah, seriously. You stole my woman.
Please don't falsify your memories for your convenience. She hated you from the beginning.
Damn straight! Thank you.
Yeah, and you too, by the way. Come on, cut it out. If you guys get into a fight, the whole country will get caught up and nothing good will come of it. Seriously, why do I have to be peacemaker between you two? I mean, I liked her too.
Good golly Wally. What is this conversation? Noel, are you telling her all of this? So yeah, I got into a fight with my two best friends because they were like, I was gonna marry her before you, and then you were rude and married her first, so it's not fair. I hate you now. Ay.
Did you say something, Lord Toya?
No, nothing at all. Anyway, no matter what you say, I have no intention of getting married yet. Same for me.
Oh, hi, Ruzy. It's been a while.
Excuse me. Lord Toya, the results of the experiment are... Oh? Did something happen?
Come to think of it, you aren't married either.
Yeah? So, what of it?
You too should marry soon, and show His Majesty the splendor of marriage.
But I'm not all that interested in women.
Same-sex marriage is not allowed.
Well, damn, Noel. Sheesh. Although I could see in a culture where, like, the birth rate's declining, women have been a rarity, they would have a law against that. Like, no, I don't care how you feel. You gotta do this for the sake of your country. It makes sense.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant.
Then you can get married.
Well, if there was a woman like Lord Nohl's wife, I might be interested in her.
I talked to you for one scene. One. Like 7 years ago, I helped you with my friend. That was it. That's the only contact. I know that, okay, look, I know. Before you come at me in the comments, I know that they probably have interacted in the last 7 years or however long it's been because they've been working on this cure. But as far as I'm the player am concerned, they've only interacted once, so what the heck? She's just so beautiful.
What? You're after her too? I'm just kidding, just kidding.
I don't feel like you're just kidding.
Understood. Then allow me to tell you all how wonderful marriage is.
Oh, hey, Nohl!
And that's what happened.
Wait, so you left after saying that? What does that mean? So you came home early. What was your point exactly? Yeah, Naala, I'm with you on that face, like, It was originally a talk about Toya getting married, but somehow I ended up being involved. And not just Toya, but somehow Surin and Ruzy got wrapped up in it as well. My impression, as I thought of their faces in succession, it looks like the story is about to get bigger.
You two, please come up with a good plan to get these three married.
Yeah, right. I did try to think about it, but I couldn't come up with a very good idea. That's just as well, because my true feelings are the opposite of what Nohl thinks. For a while, I wasn't sure what to say to him, and his narrowed eyes stared into me as if searching my inner thoughts. Nohl might not like it, but he doesn't want me to lie to him. If possible, as a wife, I would like to agree with my husband's opinion, but sometimes you have to go against it. Nohl and I are not married to follow one another, but are together to support each other as separate human beings. And that is a sign of a healthy marriage, girl, so I'm proud of you. If everything is adapted to the other person, the current relationship will collapse and become something different. As we swore under the stars, we'll bet for eternity. Rivals and comrades.
Don't tell me you are also opposed.
Seeing the wrinkles between my eyebrows, Nohl spoke with a melancholy look.
I thought you would agree with me.
Oh, he looks genuinely sad for the first time ever. Asking for my consent, Nohl's palm brushed my cheek. Holding it from above, I responded without averting my gaze. I know how you both feel. Now that I'm married, I can say that I'm happier when I'm with someone I love.
In today's world, many people can't do that.
That's true, but now that Nasla's situation has calmed down, there's no need to rush, right? We're not forced to form alliances under threat of an invasion.
We are in a crisis.
What? Really?
Yes, the crisis that things that trouble me will increase. It's becoming troublesome to keep turning down the countries that contact us for marriage meetings. It is very difficult to decline a proposal in a casual manner without disrupting the good relationship that we currently have. I am able to do this because of my abilities.
Ah, right. Nohl's expression is gloomy as he speaks, perhaps remembering the stack of portraits sent to him for the marriage meetings. It must be a considerable number in order to bother Nohl, who is a demon when it comes to work. Well, it's only natural that other kingdoms would want to marry off their princesses when they hear that there's a young and capable king who doesn't have a single legal wife. There's no longer any cause for concern since the rot has been cured, thanks to the cure developed by Toya and Ruzi. For Nohl, who works hard and spares no time to sleep, it may indeed be a bother. He most likely has a lot of logic behind it, and in the end, he is probably giving his advice with the country's best interests in mind. Nasla is an important place where Nohl can show his abilities, and I don't think he would act to undermine that. On the other hand, telling Toya to get married to just anyone is just... As I groaned with increasing worry, Nohl let out a large, uncharacteristic sigh. I mean, you don't have to agree to a marriage based off a picture. In fact, I would recommend against it if King Henry VIII is anyone to go by. But, I mean, you could agree to a meeting at a neutral place, spend, I don't know, let's say a week. You may go somewhere for a week with, your entourage, her entourage. You get to know her a little bit, see how things gel. If they don't gel, then, you know what, you gave it a try. Maybe something like that. I don't know. I'm not a political advisor, but that's just kind of what I'm thinking. Unable to remain silent at his tired expression, I stroked Nohl's cheek as he had done to me. Thanks for your hard work. It's pretty hard on you, too.
It really is a quite difficult job. If I didn't have a wife who takes care of me like this, I might have given up.
You wouldn't do that.
You never know.
Ah, so there are things even the wisest man on the continent doesn't understand.
Yes, I do not know. Now there's something I'm concerned about even more than the future of our country.
His long arm goes around my waist and pulls me in again. When I was wrapped up in Nohl's slender but surprisingly muscular arms, I felt a sense of comfort and relief that made me almost lose all strength in my body. Even the whispered breath feels sweet as I drown in the illusion of melting from my ears.
Marriage is a type of contract, and marrying out of love is the height of stupidity. At least, that's what I thought, but now I feel comfort in being called husband. So much so that I could even give thanks to our ancestors who created the institution of marriage.
Oh. Yeah. Now I'm glad to be married to you. I can hear Nohl's heart pounding. Stop, these two are so cute. For a while, I listened to that sound and savored my happiness, but...
Then you agree with me?
In the end, it's back to square one. I do understand where you're coming from, but I think it would be a shame if they were forced into a marriage like that.
You're quite naive. I'm also trying to get them all married for your sake.
My sake?
Even though you're married to me, there are still many men who are after you. Surin is at the top of the list, but Lord Toya and Ruzi are interested in you. You cannot let your guard down.
You're just imagining things.
It's quite mysterious that my wife is so responsive in bed, and yet is so dull when it comes to men taking an interest in her. I could write an entire paper on this subject.
No one would read such a paper.
I'm telling you to have a sense of danger.
Anyway, if the person in question is opposed, I don't think it's a good idea to force them into it.
You say, standing on the shoulders of men who have been charmed by you?
That's not true.
I see. You don't want those three to get married, then.
Why has it come to that?
It can't be helped. If that is your intention, then I have my own ideas as well.
Nohl? Nohl. Hey, you could have listened to me for a minute. Nohl, you idiot. I feel like he left and his his body should not be here right now, but... What ideas is Nohl referring to? I wanted to confront him with my doubts and complaints, but Nohl didn't come back that night. Yeah, he's not supposed to be there. That's fine. My husband has a terribly stubborn side. Once he starts to pout, things become very troublesome. This evidence of this is that even after a few days, we still haven't had a proper conversation. When I try to talk to him, he gets busy and goes away. He seems to be preparing for something, but I wonder if he's still angry.
Madam, may I enter now?
Yeah. When I heard someone knocking on the door, I thought it was Nohl for a moment, but my heart sank again. Come to think of it, there's no reason why Nohl would bother knocking to enter his own room, so I must be exhausted mentally. We aren't talking, we aren't touching, and that's all it took to deprive me of my normal judgment ability. He is such a brat. When he gets into a snit, he's just like, I'm doing... It's not like me to dwell on this forever. I reminded myself that it would be rude to show my disappointment to Esta and slapped both cheeks. Immediately after, the door opened quietly and Esta entered.
Excuse me.
Esta walks up to me and stops about 3 steps away. It's the usual position. Esta doesn't come close to me unless I close the distance between us, as if there is an invisible wall between us. These days, this is even more pronounced than when we first got married, and I have a hunch that Nohl is warning him to stay away from me. He's so jealous, my goodness. Nohl's the type of person who really would say that. Nohl, who hates having his things taken away, becomes obsessively attached to things he once he takes a liking to them. Even if he doesn't usually show it on his face, if he feels like his territory has been encroached upon, he develops a terrifying desire for revenge that ordinary people cannot comprehend. And he doesn't stop at tenfold revenge, but rather 100-fold. Aside from the ones I already knew, the number of guys who talked to me has decreased drastically. Oh boy. Well, Rome wasn't built in a day. I guess it's gonna take more than 3 years or however long it's been to get that out of him. Hopefully, over time, he'll chill out, but he may not. Some people just never chill out regarding that. I dread to think what kind of maneuvering is going on behind the scenes. And also, as an addition to that, I can't really blame him when he literally had a conversation like 2 days ago with 3 guys who are all like, yo, if I can marry your wife, things would be cool. So, he's got good reason. I shook my head in amusement and took a step closer so that my voice was easier to reach. What's wrong, Esta?
The master has requested that you come to the throne room wearing this hair ornament.
Hair ornament? I looked down into the small box that was offered to me. Then, I squinted my eyes at something that reflected the sunlight and opened my eyes wide as I grasped the contents. Just what am I supposed to do with all of these jewels? Red, blue, and green. Brilliant gemstones are set on delicate goldwork resembling ivy, shining like a work of art. If I hadn't been told that this was a hair ornament for me to wear, I would have just admired it. However, Nohl seems to be saying that I should wear this. I feel so nervous that I wouldn't even be able to take a step forward.
Do not worry. If you were to drop it, there will be a replacement.
What?
This is a message from Lord Nohl.
I thought he was spoiling his wife, but there are no limits to that. No matter how much personal wealth Nohl may have, he shouldn't spend this much on his wife. I opened my mouth to refuse, but was stopped by Esta's hand of restraint.
I believe it's best if you accept it.
But I can't accept such an extravagance.
If you do not accept this today, you'll be quite the troublesome partner. Therefore, you have an obligation as the wife of the political assistant to accept this, is what Lord Nohl said.
Your Nohl imitation is improving. Nice.
Thank you.
Just like, oh, thank you. After cutting my hair once, I've kept it short ever since, at Nohl's request. I freaking knew he liked the short hair. Thank you. However, in today's world where women with short hair are called ugly women, sometimes it's embarrassing to appear on diplomatic occasions with such hair. Even if Nohl himself says it's okay, I'm worried that I might get in the way of his work. In other words, today I am called to a job that requires me to care about such short hair. It can't be helped. Certainly, with these gems, short hair might not be a big deal. I accepted it feeling half happy, half apologetic, and for some reason Esta moved behind me. Esta?
I have been ordered to do your hair.
We can leave that to the Chamberlain. You must be busy.
I also considered resigning my post.
But it was an order from him?
Yes.
He's a real pain in the ass. Wait, so he orders you to stay away from her, then orders you to do her hair? He really is a pain in the ass.
Then, please excuse me.
I doubt doing a woman's hair is in his job description, but despite that, Esta is quite good at it. That somehow does not surprise me. You have endless potential.
Not as much as Lord Nohl.
No one can compare to him. We've been a couple for quite a few months now, but sometimes I still don't know what he's thinking. Quite a few months. Maybe the epilogue takes place before the epilogue after the credits? I mean, okay, a few years can still be a few months, technically, but my brain. It's the same now. Normally, if some other man touches me, I get angry with a sub-zero frosty smile, but when it comes to him, I try to get him to touch me. Aw, well that's sweet. There's just something about his thoughts that normal people can't understand. I've fallen for him so hard that I can't ever hate him, so I'm pretty much the same. Suddenly, I felt a strong gaze through the doorway and looked through the mirror. I wonder if it's just my imagination. The gap between the doors only spilled light, and there was not a single human figure in sight. What is going on? Is he testing her? Was he worried that, like, she doesn't want the other guys to get married because she's like, well, maybe I can get together with them after you or something stupid. And so he's also testing Esta out to be like, is she just gonna fall into his arms after he does her hair? Squint. Twisting my head slightly, I decided to forget the gaze I felt just now.
I finished.
Thanks. By the way, what kind of guest are we entertaining today?
I have just come to deliver the message, and I do not know.
Esta is a man who looks expressionless, but actually shows his inner feelings in his eyes. From the slight shift in his eye movements, I guess that Esta knew something, but I dared not ask. It would be bad if Esta was punished later for disobeying orders. Well then, I'll be going.
Take care.
There are many things that are unclear, but they should be resolved by going to the throne room anyway. I waved lightly at Esta, who bowed reverently and looked away and closed the door. Now that I think about it, meeting in the throne room means that I might be attending the audience. Then it might have been better to have gone with more suitable clothes as well. Thinking that, I was about to turn around when a voice called out to me from the end of the corridor.
Where are you going?
Oh, Nohl. Even though we're a married couple, we haven't really crossed paths lately, so for a moment I was at a loss as to what kind of face I should make. Nohl, seeing this, just laughed under his breath and extended his long arm towards me.
Come, my cute princess.
Okay. His cool voice echoes as if sliding across the stone walls and floor. His words of invitation are not the usual commands or euphemisms. He called me with a tone of pure pampering, and I ran towards him without a second thought. It's been a while since we've worked together like this. I arrive in front of the door and look up at him at a distance close enough to hug him. I was glad that Nohl wasn't avoiding me, and even though this was before work, I couldn't help but to let out a lively voice. I impulsively wanted to touch him, but of course I held back. What? For some reason, he's staring at me. As I blink my eyes and tilt my head, Nohl's well-rounded features softly melted away into a smile.
Me as well.
Just what have I agreed to? I tug at the hem of his clothes, asking for an explanation. What?
For my princess, actions speak louder than words.
I don't know why, but Nohl looks very happy, so I feel happy too. I guess because she was like, "Hey, it's you, hi!" He's like, "Oh, okay." If I'm being honest, it'd be nice if we could both just go home and have an early lunch. ... If you know what I mean, winku. No. I'm so obsessed with peace. We've got work to do, so I've got to keep my head on straight. I take my eyes off Nohl and lightly make a fist to get my spirits up. You have an important job today, right?
Ah, yes. It's a very important role.
Then I really should go and change clothes.
You're fine as is. Being overdressed would be a problem.
I see. I wonder if today's guest is a difficult person to deal with. I open the door together with Nohl while thinking about how to deal with various things. Well, you were not who I was expecting.
Ah, hello, Lord Nohl.
Huh? Why is Ruzi here? When I opened the door, I saw Ruzi inside. Surprised by the appearance of a person who is quite different from what I expected, I stand still. It seemed to be an unexpected turn of events for Nohl as well, as he looked around the room with raised eyebrows.
That's odd. Lord Toya should be here as well.
Ah, Lord Toya just left, actually.
He ran away.
Ran away? No matter how much freedom Toya might enjoy, I don't think he'd run away from an important job. In other words, this isn't work. Apparently my idea that this was a job was way off. Was Nohl hoping to like arrange some kind of situation where the guys could see like how marriage is? That is what he said, I guess, when he ran off in a huff the other day. Maybe this is what he had in mind. Is he trying to... My question is he going to try to make it appealing or not appealing? Like, Naala's more of a handful than you guys realize, or marriage is pretty cool, you guys should try it with somebody else.
I just don't know.
Rather, I can smell Nohl's dishonesty. Rather, it's coming through quite strong. I've got a bad feeling, and now I want to run away as I look up at Nohl. This is work, right?
Yes, I said so earlier, didn't I?
He smiles back at me, and I want to stick my index finger in the air as hard as I can. It's a lie. It's definitely a lie when he smiles like that. I just remembered. I have something urgent to do.
I shall track down His Majesty later, so shall we get started?
When I tried to run away, my shoulders were grabbed, and I couldn't move forward or backward.
What's gonna happen from now?
You shall soon find out.
Hey, Nohl. What's the big idea calling me out here? What are you guys doing?
Comparing my flustered face with Ruzi's bewildered one, Surin looks at me suspiciously. Well, in this situation, I would have said the same line.
I made a promise the other day.
A promise?
Have you forgotten? I promised that I would teach you all the virtues of marriage.
Huh?
I told you I got no need for that.
I didn't think he was still on about that. My bad feeling only grew stronger, and in a panic, I called out to Nohl. Hey, Nohl?
You, please be quiet. For those of you who are unmarried, I want you to go home today thinking that you are just dying to get married.
I'm just dying to punch you.
Nohl blew off Surin's curse and continued his talk.
Now, as you are aware, this is my wife. She's quite beautiful, isn't she?
What are you talking about?
I'm just explaining how good it is to have a wife. Is there a problem?
You know...
Even though it's said that women with short hair are ugly, it suits my wife quite well. And decorated with jewels such as these, even the moon spirit cannot compete.
Hey! Cut it out! Nohl claimed to be expounding the goodness of marriage, but it just sounds like he's fawning over me. And he's pumping out so much praise that I can't stand it and want to cover my ears.
Hey, Nohl. You're forgetting your original purpose, aren't you?
Oh, you still don't want to get married?
I'm starting to run away from the stupidity of this all.
You're quite the troublesome person. Having a selfish disciple is a constant source of trouble for a teacher.
Hey, you know, having a perverted whack-job teacher is a constant source of trouble for the disciple.
I can't believe I actually agree with Surin. After all this time, she's finally getting along with him.
But hey, if you want me to get married that badly, I wouldn't mind marrying your wife, who even the moon spirit cannot compete with.
A sharp, wild gaze traced my cheek. Saliva stuck in my throat as I was hit with a joking truth. Don't make jokes like that. If you get like that, Nohl will become angry.
No, I'm not upset. Rather, feeling a sense of pity, I prepared this banquet.
Huh? Banquet? The sound of Nohl clapping covers up my voice. Not even a few seconds later, the door opened quite suddenly, and somehow a large number of beautiful women entered the room. Damn, he was prepared.
Surin, I had a feeling you'd be this way, so I prepared some blonde-haired maidens who know martial arts, which is to your liking.
I mean, he put some thought into it.
You...
No need to thank me. Please, just enjoy yourself and make a choice. Ah, how about that one? She's got those childbearing hips that you like.
Perhaps already tired of arguing, Surin shrugged and let out a sigh. I can't help but to feel sorry for him today.
You were able to invite quite a lot of women here.
I put up a sign in my hometown saying, "The Nasla military commander and the best doctor in the country are looking for a wife. Marrying one of them will lead to a secure future." And there was no shortage of applicants. Thanks to that, I've been sacrificing sleep to make this happen. Ah, what a kind political assistant I am. This is also the gift of marriage.
I'm seriously wanting to kill you. Oh no, Lord Surin, we can't kill him. Let's at least knock him out and run away.
Ruzy! Wow, I didn't know you had that side to you.
You might not know this, but he's unexpectedly pretty strong. It won't be easy. If we take advantage of this crowd, Lord Surin, you can use your battlefield experience to your advantage.
Though he's speaking softly, Ruzy, even more than Surin, is serious and scary. Oh, he's a nice man as advertised.
Huh? Oh,
Ruzy had been steadily working on a plan to incapacitate Nohl, but was thrown into a panic when one aggressive woman pulled on his shoulder. In the meantime, the two were surrounded by women who approached them, and in no time at all I could only see their heads.
Lord Nohl, I have brought Lord Toya.
Apparently another poor victim has been captured. Looking behind Esta, I saw Toya flailing in the grasp of several of Nohl's subordinates. This is so funny.
Good job. Guide him inside.
Guided, or rather, being taken away, Toya disappeared into the circle of women. Seeing him screaming out while being swallowed up by the crowd looked like a sacrifice. You do remember that Toya is the king, right?
Yes, it's quite a painful decision to make for the king's happiness. It truly does hurt my heart.
Is what he said, but he had a big smile on his face.
Now then, let us have our own fun.
In a way, the meeting to teach the goodness of marriage ended up being a great success. Oh? From what angle? If you're saying, like, because Nohl and you are now, like, chatting and probably touching after this again, then yes, it was a great success for you two. Oh my goodness, this game. Finally free.
It was a meaningful banquet.
In contrast to my exhausted state, Nohl was in a strangely good mood. You're in a pretty good mood.
Yes, very much. I feel really good after such a successful harassment.
What? That was harassment?
To be precise, it was a banquet that combines harassment and profit. I do hope that Surin is able to find a bride there. However, at the very least, hopefully he'll stop trying to sideswipe someone else's wife.
Ah. Maybe the point of that wasn't so much to get them a wife. If they get a wife, great, that's an added bonus, but maybe it was a warning, like, if you keep my wife's name out of your mouth, basically. If you guys so much as whisper that wish again in my hearing, I'll just invite a whole bunch of women again and throw you as sacrificial lambs to the slaughter. Ah. I stare at Nohl with my mouth gaping open. I thought it was strange for him to only want Surin to get married. Come to think of it, the 3 victims in the throne room were the 3 players who appeared in Nohl's story the other day. You put them through all that because they joked about wanting to marry me?
You're the only one who thinks that they're joking.
Somehow I feel like apologizing to the three of them. They would be mortified if they knew that you knew that they wanted to marry you. Because they ain't joking. I let out a deep sigh and a shadow suddenly falls over me as I raise my face.
Better yet, I'd rather lock you away somewhere so that only I can love you.
Before I knew it, Nohl, who was standing very close to me, gently stroked my cheek, making my skin tingle. The relentless gaze that penetrated from my eyes to the depths of my body gripped my heart. You want to lock me up?
Yes, if I didn't feel love from you anymore, I just might do that. Unfortunately, I do feel an abundance of love from you. When you come running up to me in the corridor, I wanted to push you down and make love to you on the spot.
So that's what that smile meant. Apparently he was amused at the way my love for him came spilling out. I puffed out my cheeks, satisfied and frustrated at the same time.
Your sulking face is also cute.
It's not funny being toyed with by Nohl like this. But remembering the sweetness in his voice when he said, "me too," makes my face hot. What a terrible husband who finds his wife's love to be unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. With a love so pure, I lose my motivation to lock you away.
Hello. Well, you know what? At least you never did lock her away, in your good endings at least. I'm gonna be absolutely stunned if you don't have a bad ending where she's locked up. I will be shooketh. But I will at least give you kudos over other guys who did lock MCs up in their good roots. With a thump, I was lightly pushed onto the bed behind me. I could feel my heart pounding a little faster as I placed my palm against the body that was naturally riding up on me. I smiled involuntarily, as if he were talking about his feelings for me, and he laughed deep in his throat and whispered,
And it's your fault that I'm becoming an honest person. How shall I have you take responsibility for this?
A thrilling tremor runs through the seductiveness of his staring eyes. I suddenly remembered what happened this morning with the depth of the gaze that was poured into me. This feeling. When I was sitting in front of the dressing table, I remember the gaze that stabbed my neck. That definitely wasn't Esta's. If you're going to be watching, shouldn't you have fixed my hair?
Oh, did you notice me?
A deep sigh escaped Nohl as he came clean.
Were you nervous when Esta was playing with your hair?
I was thinking of you the whole time, so I wasn't even aware of it. And so you gave Esta that order, wanting to confirm that's how I'd be.
Oh my, this really is quite unfortunate. You didn't fall for that trap either. If you had, and had been aware of another man, I thought I would use all sorts of toys to play with you.
I won't ask what kind of toys.
You are more than welcome to ask.
You really are a handful.
Even still, you love me, don't you?
A terrifyingly beautiful smile, more devilish than the devil himself. I chuckled at my husband, trying to charm me at all costs, and raised the white flag. She just surrenders so easily. Like, he's too beautiful. I surrender. Yes, to the point of frustration. We can now express our love for each other in ways that other people would frown at. That's how similar we've become. And so there's no end in sight to our bet, not for the rest of our lives. Those two. This game, I still can't get over the difference between Surin's epilogue and Naran and Nohl's epilogue. Nohl in particular was like a slice of life episode. Basically. With, like, the shenanigans he was pulling with the other guys. Like, what in the actual... Alright, well... I mean, they seem very happy with each other, so I'm happy for them. Yay! Alright. Well, the good times are over. Nohl's got 3 bad endings waiting in the wings. So, I guess I'll see you for that next time. Thank you for joining me for this. I hope you enjoyed his epilogue. Until next time, I will see you later.